Welcome back, Spartans. This is JAG, aka Leonidas, coming at you live from 300. On this video today, I'm going to be showing the best 3-star attacks for Town Hall 8, specifically GoVaHo. It's one of 3 that I recommend for my Town Hall 8s for my clan, and we're specifically going to be covering it, what to look out for, what bases to hit and use this attack for, and how to 3-star effectively and efficiently. So you're going to see 2 replays done by our resident Town Hall 8 dislike track, and we're going to use them on 2 different base styles, and so let's get into this. So we're going to show you first off our previous war, and we're going to go from there. Unfortunately, we lost the most recent one just barely, but we won this one. So I believe, if I remember correctly, it was it was number 8, or sorry, base 11 that he took out, which is going to be, with the exceptional walls, a max Town Hall 8. Okay, so first things first, you're going to notice the corner huts. Always, from Town Hall 8 and above, it's Town Hall 7 a little bit as well, you really got to watch out for corner huts. They're going to cause you to get a 99% 2-star, and you're going to, at that point, be absolutely furious because you will run out of time on certain attacks. So just to keep it out of mind, take 4 archers, worry about them, and you can drop them at the end to help clean up. So you're going to notice we have 1 here, 1 at the bottom, and 1 on the left. Just essentially take as many archers as there are huts in the corner at that point. So there's 4 builders huts in the corner. I'd take 1 less wizard and 4 builders huts. So for GoVaHo, you're going to take roughly around 9 wizards, 14 hogs, 8 Velks, 1 Golem, and a clan castle that can either be of max Velks or max Hogs. And in my case, I'd personally recommend the max Hogs. They do major damage and are pivotal to this attack. And as far as spells go, you're going to see 2 heals, 1 range, 1 CC poison, and 1 poison. So let's start with a little bit of a base analysis on this and what kind of bases we need to look out for when using GoVaHo. So as far as GoVaHo goes, there's 2 things you can do. 1, look for compact bases where all the defenses are pretty close together. There's not too much space between them. And the second option, which this base doesn't fall under the first primarily, is that you want to look out for, if other attacks don't work so well for it, then this is kind of like a good go-to just if you're unsure of what attack to use. So in this case, aerial, or for Town Hall 8, there's 3 primary attacks that are used as far as 3 stars. 1 is Dragloon, 1 is Mass Hogs, and the other is GoVaHo. And in this case, you're going to see this gap right here, which goes around the center, protecting the air defenses. It's really going to be anti-air, which is anti-drags. It's trying to force all of the dragons out around the base, kind of like this, instead of going on the inside, so the air defenses just kill them. So you really don't want to use that. So GoVaHo was a decent option for it in that case. So like I said, compact bases or bases that aren't really fitting of other attacks. And check out, I'm going to be posting videos on other attacks like Dragloon as well, and Mass Hogs for Town Hall 8, so keep an eye out for those later, and you'll be able to see those. So getting back to this one, the next thing what we want to do for GoVaHo is analyze what are the biggest threats, because that'll help us decide what side to pick and attack from now that we have the troops and we've decided we're doing GoVaHo. So in that case, your biggest threats are going to be the wizard towers, since those will be splash damage, which will really do damage to your hogs. And you see they're all in different corners here. And then you're going to see the Barb King, which is another big threat because he will follow your hogs to the ends of hell. He just absolutely follows them around the base. I've seen it ridiculous sometimes. And then the other thing you want to look out for is your double giant bomb locations, which is essentially 2 giant bombs side by side. And the way you pick those out is you look for gaps in the base where there could potentially be 2 bombs located beside each other, and that's these 2 locations. Otherwise, the other locations you see in the base are just single bombs, and those aren't too bad. So what this does is, now that you know the biggest threats, you have to now pick the side where you can take out the most strongest defenses, then our biggest threats, so like wizard towers, cannons, archers, as much as concentrated as possible, and that has ideally a wizard tower in it. But you also have to attack the side or at least close to the side, where you can then also take out the Barb King so he doesn't chase your Velks as well. And yeah, so as far as that goes, the next thing you want to look out for, let me just reposition here, is going to be your storages. So you're going to want to, let me get rid of that. You want to look out at the storages, but we're only going to take a look at the storages which are going to be around the spots that we potentially might attack. So it's really just these storages. The other ones we don't have to worry about so much because they're kind of on the outside of the base, but sometimes they do. You know what, we'll include this one here and this one here because that's one of the sides that you can potentially attack from. So the three sides that we're looking to attack from is, we're going to label these, 1, which is right here, 2, which is right here, and 3, which is right here. So like I said, you want to look, 1, at the area where you can hit the most concentrated defenses, ideally wizard towers as well. 2, you want to be able to look at a side where you can take out a double giant bomb location, so your golem and your Velks will take out that bomb location so your hogs don't hit it. And 3, you want to take a side where you can ideally take out the king as well. So in this case, what the best options are these 3. The 4th one is too far away from the king. Your 3rd one has, as you can see, 3 storages from that side, so I ideally wouldn't take that side. So it leaves you with really 1 and 2. 1 has less storages, but 2 is closer to the king. So personally, I would probably take 2, but 1 also works as well because you can kind of hit a wizard tower in either location too. And number 1 is still close to the king, so it's not really a big issue. So we're going to clear that. So let me just again move this a little bit so we can kind of see where, alright, here we go. So the next thing, once you've kind of picked your side, which in this case is going to be, for me it would have been 2, but you're going to see actually dislike track hit from this side. The next thing is, are you going to pull the CC or are you going to let your wizards kill them while your CC takes out the golem and Velk? So the way you decide this is kind of a personal preference, but 2, it's how easy it is to lure the CC troops. So you're going to see in this case, it's quite easy to lure them, so it makes it a lot, it's less of a worry that if you can take them out earlier than later. So you're going to see the CC here, and you're going to see dislike track pull them by dropping a hog right here. So what's going to happen is then that CC is going to come from here and go, he's going to drag them to, ideally you want to drag them to an area where there's no defenses and that you can kill them, and that is close to the side that you are going to attack. So he drags them out here because he's going to funnel some wizards there, and he's going to ultimately, like I said earlier, attack from this side, number 1 here. So kind of pull them to the side that you're also going to attack from. And this isn't too much of an issue here because your Velks are going to be able to go this way towards the king, because once the king starts attacking them, they're going to go right for him at that point, if they aren't already on that side anyways. And at the same time, ideally you can take out this giant double giant bomb location, which means then your hogs don't have to worry about it. So the next thing, once you find out what side and you clear the CC, you're going to drop your golem in. That is the first step, to soak up the damage from the defenses. You're going to funnel properly, and if you haven't seen my video already as far as funneling, go check that out. Assuming that your funneling works properly, you're going to notice he has no wall breakers in this case. And that's alright because the Velks are going to go straight for the wall, right where the golem is. And you're going to see a rage ability being used there. And unfortunately I don't have a purple, but we'll just go with this color here. You're going to see a rage there, which will then rage them through the wall. And then they're going to go, at that point, towards a little bit to the king, and 1 I think is also going to go right here as well. So at that point, once you drop your kill squad, which is going to be on the side that you've picked, now that's ideally also going to take out the king. Once you see the king get dropped, let me just reposition here, because you're going to see the next phase is how to drop the hogs at that point. So at Town Hall 8, it's not as crucial to do surgical hogs. I will post a video on surgical hogs and how to place them. So for Town Hall 8, it's not necessarily an issue, but you can drop them surgically. Another option is the Asian Wall of Hogs method, or the Wall of Hogs method, which is basically you put your finger down on the screen and you drag it back and forth like this. So just like that. And you're gonna see, and ideally you want to pick the side first that you drop from is the side where your kill squad is closest to, because you want to either work in a clockwise or a counterclockwise rotation. So in this case, you're going to see a clockwise rotation like that. And you could have also done counterclockwise, but in this case, clockwise is better because you leave at the end your double giant bomb location threat for last, and for then, with the pathing of the hogs, you don't really need to worry about it anyways, but worst case scenario, you won't trigger them and you can always leave a heal for it. But in this case, like I said, you're going to drop and drag your finger back and forth, and you're going to start over on this side first because that's closest to your kill squad. And the whole goal of this is to get your hogs into the base kind of in a wall formation. So the first hogs are going to be dropped here. They're going to start taking damage, which means your second hogs are going to come here and start taking damage. And then you have your third hogs, which are going to come in the phase, which are going to take damage as well, but they're going to take out the building. So you're going to have your first buildings, which are going to be taken out here, your second buildings, which are going to be taken out here, and then your third buildings, which are going to be taken out here. And that's very important because the order is going to make it so that your newer hogs that you've dropped that are on the second and third one are going to take damage, while your older hogs that have already taken damage are going to take less damage as a result, which means you're going to get more out of your attack at that point. And what's going to happen then is you're going to see, like I said, the hogs are going to go around the base this way. And that's basically how you set it up. And now you use your heals as needed at that point. You can either use it on your Valks Hogs combo and then drop a second heal as needed later on, and then use the king at the end to take damage while your hogs then come into the last defenses, or you can save your heals for both hogs. But let's get underway here and you'll see a better example of what I mean at that point. Okay, so let's just get back to this. Okay. Here we go. So you're going to see the hog go in, which is going to pull the CC. And at that point now, you're going to see the CC go to the corner. So dislike track is basically just trying to take out your CC there. So he's going to drop a few more. Unfortunately, he didn't expect the Tesla to be there, and that caused a little bit of damage with his wizards. And a little bit more than he would have ideally liked. But he drops both the poisons, and he's able to take out the Tesla and the baby dragons as well. So we're just going to pause and move this around again. And now you're going to see the golem get dropped after he drops a few more wizards to help with funneling. My only complaint here is I actually would have dropped wizards to take out this builder's hut here and this collector here, and drop those first. And as you if anyone's seen my funneling video, you work outside and go inwards. So you drop a few wizards on the outside, so those get destroyed first, and then everything kind of then forces inwards at that point. But it still works out because he's going to drop, you're going to notice he's going to drop soon a Valk, which is going to be a stray Valk because it's going to go to the right. So what he's going to do now is you're going to see that he noticed he delayed a little bit because the Valk started to get pull. So once these buildings got destroyed, he was able to then drop the Valks over here nice and close so they go directly to the wall because that's the next closest thing. So if these had been destroyed first and you dropped them back maybe here, then they would have went to the wall. But if you hadn't, they would have went here as you did with this Valk. So that's why you want to have proper funneling. But in this case, funneling still worked pretty well, and he was able to get all the Valks in there. So now you're going to see the Rage, which is going to go through the walls. That's why there's no wall breakers, and it's not necessary at that point. We're going to pause, move the screen around here. You're going to see now Valks go towards the cannon and the archer tower here. They're going to take this Barb King out as we wanted. The heal got dropped as needed, like I said, and he needed them for the Valk so he could take out those kings, or the king. And then you're going to see the hogs kind of, in this case he didn't do so much the wall pattern like I said, but he did get them kind of in a wall formation as they're all spread out, and that's ideally what you want. Again, he didn't expect the Tesla to be there at the top corner of the base, but that's alright. So now you're going to see the hogs go clockwise as I said. because you want to either do clockwise or counterclockwise fashion. And now they're just going to path around the base. So you're going to see crucial right there. He's going to drop this king, which is going to soak up damage from this wizard tower. And that's the main thing, because now he has no more heals. So you can either use the 2 heals for the hogs, or you can use a heal on the Valks, heal on the hogs, and then use the king to protect in the last quadrant. And that's what he does, which I thought was quite smart in that case. Again, Tesla pops up. And now that cannon in that archer tower, we're taking out the golem, and he has so many hogs left and so much health, it's really not an impact at this point. So now what you're going to see is the hogs are going to go for that last Tesla. And he takes out the Tesla, and now they go for the rest of the buildings at that point because there's no defenses. Now you're going to notice there was the builder's hut in the corner, and there was one up there. Always keep an eye on those, because they can, unfortunately, if you run out of time, be the end of your 3-star attacks. So I would have just cleared them at that point. After I've done kind of dropping things, I would have dropped a few archers quickly, take them out, and continued watching the attack. But other than that, well executed attack, well placed, and that gets the 3-star. So let's move on to the second attack that you're going to see once the screen loads. Here we go. So we're going to go to our most recent war for that. And this is going to be another good example, and that should be everything you need to know. We're going to go a little bit quicker through this one since I went pretty in depth on the last one. I think this is also actually base 11 that he attacks here. It is. So we're going to pause, and we're going to take a look at this. And okay. So like I said, compact bases is what you look for. This is a very compact base. As you can see, all the defenses are right here. Don't have to worry about it too much. Also, the king here, if you drop the... I'm sure the way you can look at this base is you can think there's probably Teslas in this gap over here. So dropping a golem here probably not be ideal to then try and take out the king, because it would just go into the Teslas, and then everything destroys the golem, and then your whole attack is weary. Like I said, corner huts, always keep an eye on corner huts. I would have brought archers again for that, but not too much of an issue. So the next thing is this king is close to the inside here. Let me just use arrows, that'll probably be easier. This king here is close to the inside right here. So attacking from this side here is actually ideal, because the golem doesn't get dragged into that gap. You can take out, like I said, a whole bunch of these defenses here. And you can take out this king as well. So that is why this side is ideal. You could have technically done the other side, but there's not nearly as many cannons there. So I would have went on this side, and the wizard towers on the other side are also underdeveloped, so you really don't have to worry too much in that case. So let's get underway, watch this replay, and go from there. Alright. So you're soon going to see him drop his kill score. There we go. So he tried to pull the CC again, what he did is he dropped a hog and a wizard to destroy that archer tower, then dropped a hog, which would drag them because they were trying to block the pulling of them. Alternatively, you could also have dropped it on the wizard tower over here, and that probably would have pulled them, but not too much of an issue. Drags into a corner where there's no defenses. Drops some wizards with the poisons to slow down the baby dragons in that case. And they go down. So now you're going to see from the same side where you kill them, drop the golem in the middle, drop the wizards to funnel. Like I said, I would have probably dropped a wizard on the outside first, so I actually would have taken out this builder hut, which would have then moved there and taken those out first, but it's not too much of an issue because he's going to delay the Valks a little bit. Once this barracks go down, now you can drop the Valks because the next closest thing is these buildings in here. He's going to rage them to go in. Same thing, guys. Always rage to get in. That's why you don't need the wall breakers. And you're going to see he's just going to destroy those buildings, those defenses. So some of the Valks are going to split. And now what you're going to see is in this case, you don't really need to go clockwise or counterclockwise with the Valks because there's no defenses over here. They're just collectors. And the top side, there's only really one wizard tower. So you could have technically dropped a couple wizards or hogs here, but the majority really should be in the back end where you see them all here, and that's because there's so many defenses here. They're all concentrated, and in this case, back end hogs works perfectly fine. They're also kind of on the weaker side, so he doesn't have to worry at all, and he still got 2 heals. This base was perfectly suited for GoVaHo, and as you can see, it was a max CC of hogs, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and you're just going to see it get, all the hogs are going to tear through this thing. And like I said, there was Teslas in that gap there, and that's why you want to pre-plan. And since this base was so compact, like I said, GoVaHo is very good for compact bases. You didn't have to worry about any double giant bombs in that case either. So this base just absolutely got trashed. It was a little underdeveloped, but even as a maxed out Town Hall 8, this would have been an easy takeout for GoVaHo. So now all you're going to see is the remainder of the hogs in that case. Clean up the rest of the base. Like I said, archers for the corner huts would be crucial because as you can see, they're right at the end there. There's one at the top of the screen, one at the bottom of the screen, and that could kill you on some time. So keep an eye out for those. Anyways, that is it. That is the 3-star. That is the GoVaHo attack. I hope that helps. For Town Hall 8 is a very good option, so keep an eye out for that one. I would learn it as well. And just want to say thanks for joining me again on this covering of GoVaHo. I appreciate it. If you like these videos, subscribe. I'll put out plenty more. I've also got my Clash Royale playlist if you play that game. I appreciate any likes on the video, comments as well down below. If there's anything you want to see, anything that you liked, anything, yeah, you essentially just want to mention, go ahead. And I will, that's essentially Leonidas signing off, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.